Message!
Disclaimer, no copyright infringement is intended, and I don't own nor claim to own any of the content in these videos. Subscribe to Big Man OG TV. Peace.
Truth only means something if the person who is listening understands it.
I met Puff. I was
never knew
afraid of
about this.
success, afraid to do anything that could put so much attention on me. And then when I met him, he was the complete opposite. And he was such a good thing for me because I needed what he had. And so his ambition pushed me to be ambitious because I didn't know how. Because when you come from where I come from, you're scared to be ambitious. You're scared to want more. And so when I met Puff, I was, blown away. But it took some years to grow into that and accepting someone that just was so excited about being seen and about having, the lights on him and wanted it for you more than you wanted it for yourself. So, Puff was a huge inspiration to me.
And hating yourself and not being able to look at yourself. You don't respect yourself, so nobody else respects you. It's horrible. It's a terrible feeling.
Even worse, her creative partner, Sean Puffy Combs, left Uptown Records to start his own label, Bad Boy Entertainment. He immediately began developing a fresh young singer. Her name was Faith Evans, remodeled in Mary's image.
I'll tell you why there's no love.
When I had signed Faith, I had noticed like a little change in Mary. And I didn't really think it was going to be a problem or an issue.
But Mary was not amused.
There's only one Mary J. Blige. I don't know, can run out and get how many girl groups and turn their hat backwards and fix their hair like mine, but they'll never be me because I'm just me. And I don't act out Mary. This is Mary every day.
Like so many times before in her life, Mary felt betrayed and abandoned by the people she trusted the most.
Me and him were like this, whatever Puff did for himself, he would do for me. And that was no longer happening. It was happening for the other artists. So, I was a little hurt.
We started to like move apart from each other. And then some of the arguments we had, we didn't make up as quickly as we used to.
Smoking and drinking and hanging and, and...
So were these two a couple without saying they were a couple? Because it just seems like they were. All right, tell them what y'all. Please like, share, follow, and repost.
The truth is the problem that people have in society. I like to see the reaction to the truth.
You really wouldn't think nothing bad from the connection that they have.
I'm tipsy, trying to last.
Secrets truly coming out today.
There's nothing left to say. She rockin' that shit like.
This is one of Diddy's parties when you was pussy, it's one of his after parties. Come on.
It's all about the Benjamins, baby. Yeah. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. Yeah. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. Yeah. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. It's all about the
What y'all wanna do?
I can't lie, man. This picture right here looks very suspect. What y'all think? Comment below. Make sure y'all follow. Reggie Wright finna drop some jewels for y'all. Make sure y'all comment below, subscribe. Let me know what y'all think.
She was coming around and Pac was, he had a relationship with Mary. Matter of fact, I went with Pac to KC and it was this big popular nice hotel called the Peninsula Hotel in Beverly Hills. And they got into it at the Peninsula. And so me and Pac went, she called him. We went to go pick her up. She came running down the side street out of the hotel. I think she jumped out of the window, to be honest. And she just popped up from nowhere. And, we went and picked her up and took her back to Pac Wilshire spot. And because her, she said KC was putting hands on her that night. You know, that was their past. Mary was out there, she was wild, but Mary done grew up to be a beautiful lady, so I really hate saying stuff about her now because I love her and the power, and love her music, and I'm glad to see her maturity now and got off that stuff and appeared to be a better lady now.
So KC was pitting hands on Mary J. Blige, and she called Tupac to pick her up.
Correct.
In the long run, they gonna say that nigga wasn't lying though.
It was like The Walking Dead.
Hey
just
man, I
smoking
never
and
knew
drinking
about
and
the
hanging
Mary
and,
J. Blige
you know, and
and
hating
Faith
yourself
Evans beef,
and not being able to
man.
look at
Let me know
yourself.
what y'all think.
You don't respect yourself,
Comment
so nobody
below.
else respects you. It's horrible. It's a terrible feeling.
Even worse, her creative partner, Sean Puffy Combs, left Uptown Records to start his own label, Bad Boy Entertainment. He immediately began developing a fresh young singer. Her name was Faith Evans. We modeled in Mary's image.
I'll tell you why there's no love.
When I had signed Faith, I had noticed like a little change in Mary. And I didn't really think it was going to be a problem or an issue.
But Mary was not amused.
There's only one Mary J. Blige. I don't know, can run out and get how many girl groups and turn their hat backwards and fix their hair like mine, but they'll never be me because I'm just me. And I don't act out Mary. This is Mary every day.
Like so many times before in her life, Mary felt betrayed and abandoned by the people she trusted the most.
Me and him were like this, you know, it was like, you know, whatever Puff did for himself, he would do for me. And that was no longer happening. It was happening for the other artists. So, you know, I was a little hurt.
We started to like move apart from each other. And then some of the arguments we had, we didn't make up as quickly as we used to. I don't think we both noticed how huge of a breakup it was, you know, until like years later.
As Mary cut her professional ties with Puffy, her personal relationship with Casey Haley was also on the rocks.
Faith Evans had some words for
infamous
y'all.
Daddy's House recording studios, and after losing Big, I refused to record here on my Keep the Faith album. I was just kind of like over everything and everybody. To be honest, I wanted to try and leave Bad Boy after Big died.
He was such a good thing for me because I needed what he had. And so his ambition pushed me to be ambitious.
Because word on the curb is that Diddy had a party last night, September 7th, but everybody and mama was on Twitter talking about Mary J. Blige and Faith Evans. They actually had a physical altercation.
A lot of people have been wondering when Faith Evans will share her side of the story about Diddy because word on the street is that she went through some messed up situations during her time at Bad Boy. And allegedly, it wasn't just Diddy putting her through it, but also Mary J. Blige.
I remember going to Puff's house and just trying to talk to him, you know, heart to heart, and just say, yo, please let me go. That ain't an easy thing, you know, not with him.
In 1993, Faith Evans moved to LA and started working as a backup singer for Albee. Sure, and it was around this time that Faith caught Diddy's attention. He later invited her to do some background vocals, and after just one session in the studio, Diddy signed her on the spot, making her the first female artist to join his Bad Boy record label.
So when I went in and did these 2 lines and rearranged them, I asked him, Mr. Puff, you mind if I change it around a little bit? And I did, and I added all my arrangements and harmonies, and when I came out, he asked me, did I want to sign his new label?
In 1994, the same year Diddy signed Faith to Bad Boy, Faith met Biggie Smalls at a photo shoot and quickly hit it off. In fact, they got married after knowing each other for just a few weeks.
First time we had a conversation, you know, there was something that I felt that was really cool about him. And shortly after that, it may have been about 5-6 weeks, something like that. And he was like, I'm gonna marry you. I'm like, are you serious? He asked me again the next day, in less than a week, probably August 4th, 1994. We drove up to Rockland County, upstate New York, to the Justice of the Peace, and went in a little room with a clerk, and we got married.
And I was happy. That was my baby, you know?
That same year, Diddy asked Faith to sing back vocals and co-write tracks for Mary J. Blige's second studio album, My Life, and Usher's self-titled debut album. Meanwhile, she also started working on her own self-titled album, which was released in August 1995 and became an instant success thanks to chart-topping singles like You Used to Love Me and Soon as I Get Home. The album was eventually certified platinum, selling 1.5 million copies. The following year, Faith welcomed a son with Biggie, Christopher Wallace Jr. However, by that point, Faith and Biggie's relationship had already started crumbling amid allegations that he cheated on her with multiple women, including Lil' Kim, and then Faith allegedly took revenge by having an affair with none other than Biggie's rival, Tupac. This move implicated Faith in the East Coast-West Coast hip-hop war, and it all culminated in two tragedies.
Now this is very wild. I would never expect to hear this from Diddy's daughter. Crazy. Let me know what y'all think. Understand how powerful the truth is, and let me know what y'all think below. Make sure y'all comment.
Grew and kind of blew up with each other.
Yeah. I just know that was a murder. You know what I'm saying? That was a spiritual murder, whether people know it or not. Because God don't people. You know what I'm saying? Whether people know it or not. And I could go deep, but a lot of people I would have to really bring.
Rumors travel fast in the industry. Apparently, there has been gossip about Mary J. Blige and her rumored strained relationship with Diddy, and now it appears the actress has finally spoken, confirming what remained a mystery for decades.
My life was on hold due to my situation and how terrible it was, and I was just stuck in it.
Mary is a jack of all trades. From being a talented actress to a remarkable singer and even being a songwriter, she has spread her magic all over the industry. However, as sweet as it sounds, as harsh as her past,
I loved him and I wanted him to feel comfortable.
If you have followed the actress's journey, you must be aware of her close relationship with Diddy and how the mogul helped her climb the stairs to stardom. From what Mary is today, she certainly owes a lot of credit to the record producer for smoothing her path. But nothing comes cheap. In Mary's case, we are starting to discover the price the actress might have paid for it and still remained silent up till now.
I loved him and I wanted him to feel comfortable.
Puff has remained in the headlines for a long time now. No one is unaware of the reported atrocities he pinned on his co-artists. There have been countless lawsuits made against the rapper, and he is in deep waters now. While some believe Diddy is actually guilty of the alleged crimes, they also believe Mary's situation was even than the others. It is being believed widely among the fan base that even if Mary did not face similar torture to the other women, she might be aware of the truth behind the lawsuits and can confirm them. It has become a norm for Diddy to wake up each day to a new lawsuit filed against him. However, this time, he might not be able to recover from it as two women, Faith Evans and Mary J. Blige, have reportedly stepped up against him. Faith Evans shared a picture of hers laughing hysterically. Many thought it was to hint towards the messed up situation Diddy was caught in and her reaction to it. Why are the viewers linking Faith's post with Puff? Well, the pair has had some history together back when Evans used to work for Bad Boy Records. One might argue this has nothing to do with Sean Combs, but can you also deny Mary's statement being linked with Puff too? The singer shared a quote where she talked about her past compared to who she is now. It read, "Unfortunately, a lot of you met me when I lacked boundaries and was a people pleaser. Let me reintroduce myself. I burn bridges as needed." What is the singer trying to hint at? What past is she talking about? Mary, before becoming who she is now, had to work with all her force and might to get where she is today. Being nominated twice for Academy Awards, thrice for Golden Globe Awards, 9 Grammy Awards, and much more, the prison song actress made the world acknowledge her talent and greatness. Mary fought all the obstacles that came her way. However, surprisingly, the person who was reportedly the root of all evil was none other than Sean Combs. In an interview with Rolling Stone, Mary made severe revelations. She explained how Puff, who oversaw her first 2 albums, was not loyal to her while the pair shared a romantic bond. Also, she talked about how Puff took credit for the work Mary did and forced her into contracts. disadvantageous for her. When you're young and have a passion, the successful people in the field inspire you. You want to become like them. The same was the case with Blige. She was attracted to Diddy because of his charm and charisma. She revealed how the rapper made her see big dreams about transforming her into a big star one day and promised to be her savior in the industry, when in reality, Diddy reportedly used her as a cash cow and was not even faithful to her. The singer also showed light on how the rapper took control of her life and directed her in every aspect, which irritated her. He was my everything.
I went to Diddy's birthday party, and this is how it went.
Now, what y'all wanna do? Wanna be ballers, shot callers, brawlers, who be dipping in the Benz with the spoilers, on the low from the Jake and the Taurus, trying to get my hands on some grants like Horace. Yeah, living the raw deal, 3-course meal, spaghetti, fettuccine and bill, but still, everything's real in the field, and what you can't have now, leave when you will. But don't knock me for trying to bury 7 zeros over in Rio de Janeiro. Ain't nobody's hero, but I wanna be heard on your hot 9-7 every day, that's my word. Swimming in women with their own condominiums, 5+5s who drive millenniums. It's all about the Benjamins. What? I get a 50-pound bag of oof for the mutts. 5 cat.
Like the studio session, like I've been working on my rap, did this particular verse for a long time. And I went in there and I just dropped it in one take. And Diddy was just looking at me like, I'm gonna fuck with him later on.
What?
And I just left the studio after that.
That shit is crazy. I really don't like that guy.
Like I'm so motherfucking hungry, man, my head hurt. I had to get myself together, make my head work. But at the same time, keep my rap career first. But everybody know the hood could be your worst distraction. And when a nigga disrespect you, gun's your first reaction. That's how we living in this struggle, all we got is pride. So when a nigga take it from you, shit, you gotta ride. Murder, homicide. So by all means necessary, I'ma strive to get my mama out the hood since my father died. If you don't grind, you don't shine, shit, I gotta try. A made man, brave man, nigga, I am I. I'm from the hood where the tears never end and the pain never stop. The game won't clock. Yeah, it's looking sunny, but the rain gon' drop. And bodies gon' fall, that's why I be gon' haul. Roaming through these main streets, I be on guard. Cause niggas still in lives faster than they still in calls. See me, I'm still alive, asking praying, I don't fall. The sinning got me winning, though I know it's all wrong, then I stop. Look around, my homies all like I'm so motherfucking hungry, man, my head hurt. I had to get myself together, make my head work. But at the same time, keep my rap career first. But everybody know the hood could be your worst distraction. And when a nigga disrespect you, gun's your first reaction. That's how we living in this struggle, all we got is pride. So when a nigga take it.
He was my everything. He was my manager, my producer, my boyfriend, my mentor. He made me feel like I was the only one who mattered, Blige said. But he was lying to me all along. He was sleeping with other artists, other models, other actresses. He was stealing from me, taking my royalties, my publishing, my masters. He was controlling me, telling me what to wear, how to sing, what to say. He was exploiting me, using me for his own gain. Further on, the actress claimed to be aware of Diddy's lies when she came to know about how he fathered a child back in 1998 with another woman. According to Mary, she wanted to end all her ties with the rapper, but he refused to do so. As Mary informed the interviewer, Diddy made promises to her of how he would become a better person for her, but the actress believed it was all a pile of lies and all Puff wanted was to steal money from her. He begged me to stay with him. He said he loved me and he would change. He said he needed me and he couldn't do it without me. He said he would give me everything I deserved, Blige said. But it was all lies. He didn't want to lose me because I was his golden goose. I was making him millions of dollars. I was his ticket to fame and fortune. Many artists have stepped up against the Bad Boy Records founder and claimed how he used to manipulate his power and authority and threaten anyone who would not act according to the rapper's wishes. Mary was a victim too. Mary reported that the mogul claimed to sue her, blacklist her, ruin her reputation, and even hurt her physically if she decided to cut ties with him. He was a powerful man in the industry. He had connections everywhere. He had lawyers, bodyguards, hitmen. He had people who would do anything for him, Blige said. He told me that if I ever left him, he would make sure I never worked again. He told me that if I ever spoke out against him, he would make sure I never lived again. Blige recalled how she had to live with fear in her heart for years, until she decided to shove it off and find the courage to step up, which she did in 2001. She restructured everything, hired new lawyers, managers, and producers. Mary also claimed to receive spiritual healing, therapy, and sobriety.
Brother's starving.
And Mary right here, please. Right here, to your right. Thank you. Mary down the center. Mary straight ahead. Mary straight after Michael Cole. Mary right here. Straight ahead. Mary, one more. And Miss Blige.
Now y'all, at first the friends of Diddy were real silent and definitely on mute. But now, the friends are slowly coming out to expose their friend Diddy. It looks like Diddy's empire is starting to crumble faster and harder than a house of cards. Because his longtime bestie, Mary J. Blige, just allegedly snitched on him extra hard to the feds, exposing how Diddy allegedly forced her into freak-offs, gave her the Cassie treatment too. According to Mary, Diddy has allegedly been this way for a long time, and she's surprised that it took the law this long to catch up to them. But hold up, because that's not the full story. She's now telling her side of how Diddy has been hiding behind his famous and powerful friends for a long time. But there's a major plot twist here, y'all, because the streets are now saying that the reason for Mary's sudden switch up is that the feds have allegedly linked her to Diddy's crimes as well, and that she's allegedly been involved in his messy business for more than 30 years. Even worse, there are reports that she's allegedly going to be charged under Diddy's RICO charges as well. This is the reason that she is singing like a canary and stitching on him hard. Y'all, Mary J. Blige has zero intentions of going down with Diddy. She is working with these feds allegedly to send him to prison. Did Mary J. Blige allegedly essay a minor just like Diddy? And why are people saying that she has a secret child with him? I know Mary's somewhere thinking, I'm tired of all the drama. But it's definitely getting clearer each passing day that Diddy, aka the Diddler, is watching the circle shrink faster than his faded public image. Let's be real, the image that's plummeting very fast, because those he once counted on as solid allies were bailing against him left and right. Jay-Z gone, the Kardashians ultra gone, and now even Mary J. Blige just jumped ship and bailed on him. Now Mary J. Blige ditching Diddy isn't exactly shocking, but the speed of which her switch up was a jaw dropper, because once the FBI started poking around her business, whew, just like Jay-Z, Mary had always sworn up and down that she and Diddy were ride or die friends and tight as can be and blah blah blah. But if you thought that Diddy and Jay-Z were tight, Diddy and Mary J. Blige were practically inseparable. They've been tight since back in the early 90s. Diddy had produced some of her earliest albums, including her debut, What's the 411? So you do the math, they've been friends for about 33 years now. They got friendship older than y'all. Diddy has always given Mary flowers for being one of the greatest performers and vocalists of all time. In an interview, he said, Mary J. Blige is one of the greatest storytellers in R&B history. She created a lane for women around the world to speak their truth to power, so nobody deserves the success more than her. More than being my sister and my best friend, she will forever be a pioneer and the queen of hip-hop soul, who remains an unstoppable force that can accomplish anything she sets her mind to. In the late 90s to early 2000s, their friendship hit a rough patch though, and they had a falling out that got messy. In for a couple of years, they were locked into a bitter beef, barely even acknowledging each other's existence. And it was a dark time for their friendship. But eventually, the truth came out when Mary J. Blige stepped up and took the blame, admitting that she was the one who let things spiral out of control. She owned up to being a total mess back then, unable to keep her act together, let alone maintain a solid relationship with Diddy. It was a humbling moment, but it marked the beginning of their journey back to each other's good graces. Mary said, "The reason we split up is me, not understanding the business the way I needed to understand it at the time." She explained, "He had a label, he had a female artist, he had Biggie, but during that time I was really dogging myself. I was a mess on drugs. Any smart man, a businessman would have moved away from me. It felt like he was becoming distant, but looking back, I now understand why. I wasn't delivering properly. I wasn't taking care of my health. So how could he roll his dice on me?" Well, after Diddy forgave her, they patched things up and went back to being besties once again.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? Or what you gonna do when they...
And with KC being the longest. And this is how rumors started that Diddy was tricking Mary. And word on the street was that if you signed with or hung out with Diddy, Mary was the prize. But that's not all. According to another long-standing rumor, Diddy got Mary pregnant at one point and then forced her to have an abortion. They allegedly got into a nasty fight after Diddy told her to get rid of the baby. And according to some sources, Mary pushed him down a flight of stairs, resulting in a broken foot. Back in 2007, it was reported in the media that Diddy had to undergo surgery to fix his broken foot. But his reps refused to discuss the details of how the incident happened. Diddy's rep told one publication he did have routine foot surgery, but I'm not getting into specifics. It was a scheduled operation. He's doing great and he's on the mend. There's also been a lot of rumors that Diddy treated Mary like he treated pretty much all women he came in contact with, disrespecting her and putting his hands on her in the worst way. In fact, according to some sources, it was Diddy who allegedly gave Mary that scar under her eye. Coincidence or not, Cassie happens to have an almost identical scar, except hers is above her eyebrow. But what's also crazy is that Mary allegedly knew what Diddy was doing to Cassie, and rumor has it that Mary, who is allegedly bisexual, took part in some of these freak-offs. There are a ton of pictures out there with Mary and Diddy and Cassie, and it's weird how in a lot of these pictures, Mary and Diddy are both holding Cassie by the hand like they're her handlers. And then when Cassie escaped and Young Miami took her place, Mary was again in the mix, always hanging out around Diddy and Carisha. On top of this, Mary herself was accused of younger artists, and Danny Boy claimed that he slept with her when he was 15 or 16, and she would later fly him out to New York a few more times.
15, 16 years old, and she laying on the couch, and I'm sitting on the other end, and she laid down on the couch and put her head in my lap. We went in another room and lay down, and she laid down with me. She kind of like backed up against me, and every time she backed up against me, I would move away, you know. And from that time, I had an opportunity to go out to New York and visit her a couple more times. I'm 15, 16 years old, and she flying me in to see her. And you know what it is when a girl back up on you, you young, and I'm trying to show her that she ain't phasing me.
Now, Danny didn't say he was a victim, and Mary is just 3 years older than he is, but still, the whole thing is just wrong. But the wildest stories about Mary's weird relationship with Diddy come from Jaguar Wright, who publicly called out Mary on more than one occasion for procuring rappers for Diddy and helping cover up his deviant behavior. In one of her viral interviews with Storm Monroe, Jaguar went off on Mary and claimed that Mary tried to discredit her and paint her as a drug addict.
She got on my page earlier today and created a fake Instagram page that said Jaguar Wright's crack pipe. What you need to smoke when your life has gone down the drain or some shit. I screenshotted it. I'm gonna text it to you. Damn. And it had, the page had 2 followers. And the first post was a magazine cover of her. And then the second post was like one of my angry faces that they use on Instagram.
Jaguar claimed Mary is the one who has a crack problem, and she doesn't want Jag to spill the tea on what Mary...
Now that Diddy is facing a ton of legal issues, social media users are resurfacing videos of everyone associated with the bad boy producer. Former Death Row recording artist Danny Boy went viral a couple of years ago when he revealed he was 16 when he began messing with Mary J. Blige, who was 24 at the time. Danny Boy recalled Suge Knight telling him Mary wanted to see him. Once Danny Boy met up with Mary J. Blige, the rest was history. The former singer says Mary continued to fly him out to see her. Around the same time, Danny Boy was working with Casey, which led to the singer firing him.
The shit's chess, it ain't checkers.
Hey, thank y'all for watching. Make sure y'all follow me on YouTube and IG. Link in my bio.